Hey guys, so apparently some of you really like that feng shui little demonstration I did. You know, I keep doing that until roughly around season 2 time for like Akuma and everything like that. And is give you guys little tidbits about some information about, how to punish things or how to approach things and like that. Just something really simple that way, you guys can improve your jury bit by bit. I think it's pretty cool and I think you guys really like the knowledge, so I'm like, sure, why not? Today I'm going to be talking about kind of punching DPs a bit more optimally, because of course everyone sometimes doesn't exactly do the right punish, or maybe they do a very weak punish. It all depends. So I figured I'll show you guys, some stuff that I tend to do, or maybe some things that, some other jurors tend to do, and hopefully you guys gain a little bit of knowledge. So let's go do that. I kind of want to talk about DPs and EX DPs specifically. So basically, typically when you knock down an opponent, for example, and you have them set to wake up reversal, you find the opponent's what their EX DP is, and you kind of lab this out. That way, you know what to do in case they wake up with it. That way, you're ready on block. So, for example, if Jamie wakes up with it, he's negative 43, which is very, very punishable. So typically, what you may see from some punches, maybe something like this. Really nothing too crazy. It's like 24 damage. It's like very, very basic. Like you have no meter type damage. But if I was to tell you that you could do so much more with it, that you would probably potentially two tap them depending on the situation. And I kind of want to show you off what you can definitely do depending on DPs, depending on stores and all that stuff. So with Jamie, typically if you have no stores, because he's so punched, he's negative 43, you can actually do a drive rush heavy button and convert into however much drive gauge you want to burn. So for example, if I show this, I can do something like this. And I took off almost 40% for him doing that. And that took me about like, roughly maybe like 4 gauges to do that or something like that. If I was to do, let's say I have one store, I could do something like that. Or if I have, I have 2 stores, for example, and I get them with this, I can do something like this. Basically what this combo kind of shows off is that you corner carry them and you get your stores right back. So basically what I did was, because he's negative 43, typically with most DPs you're able to drive rush and do a heavy button, and with Jamie's, because his is low specific because he's on the ground all the time, you can actually go for just whatever you please on him. So you can do drive rush forward heavy punch, and because you're plus 10, you can combo into crouch heavy punch. So I'll kind of show a case what I'm doing. So I'm doing drive rush forward heavy punch, the drive rush, into crouch heavy punch. And then I kind of drive rush and then do crouch heavy punch again. Do the same loop like you always do. Stay medium, get a store, or do heavy release, or DP, whatever you choose to do as your ender. And that just kind of helps you out with a little bit of getting that extra nice damage. Depending on DP, you may not be able to do that. For example, if I turn on, actually funny enough, if I put on Juri, for example, and I have her wake up EX DP, you actually will see that you may not be able to do that, only because of the angle she is. As you can see, she's up in the air, but she's negative 48. And when you're really negative, you can actually try and drive rush to punish them, but it's a bit tricky on time. You got to let them fall a little bit, and depending on where they are, you may want to do a different button. So with Juri against Juri, if you ever call them out, you can do drive rush forward heavy punch. However, sometimes, me personally, I feel more comfortable doing a drive rush crouch heavy punch starter, or just a standard forward heavy punch starter, no drive rush. You may see me do this, and because I'm plus 11, I can do almost whatever I please. Typically what you want to do is loop this, do this, pretty standard, almost 40% for doing the DP. It all varies depending on DP. You guys definitely mess around with it. For example, like Ken, he kind of does one rotation, one loop into another loop of the DPs, and when he lands, you can lab out what to do. So typically against DPs that either push you back or they're really low on the ground or something like that, I tend to do the drive rush heavy punch. or forward heavy punch, sorry. But if they're more so in the air and I'm not sure exactly where I'm at, I don't trust it. I would definitely do drive rush, crouch heavy punch, or I'll do a simple standard stand medium punch, heavy punch, combo starter, or a forward heavy punch combo starter. There's been a bunch of them. I know I'm saying a lot of words, but hopefully you can decipher what I'm saying. That way, you guys can do up don't punishes. But basically, if you ever run into someone, for example, with a Jamie type dive kick, this is kind of, if you have all 3 stores, you know, you want to cash out, you know, be like, all right, I'm killing him, like it's over for him. This is kind of like the combo you would do typically. So this combo is pretty much guaranteed, I believe 60+%, like around 65, 66. And basically this combo is for sure your kill combo, like you're cashing on everything. You're making sure he's dying. There's also another variation of this where you can do something like this. And this will be roughly around the same damage, if not a bit weaker. But basically what I'm doing to explain the full-on combo to you is that I'm basically doing drive rush forward heavy punch into EX medium fua. So basically that's light and heavy kick with core circle forward. And then I'm doing forward medium punch into drive rush into the crouch fierce stand medium punch, crouch medium punch loop. And then I'm able to do it again because I still have technically an extra bar of drive gauge left. And then basically after you one more of the rep of crouch heavy punch, stand medium punch, crouch medium punch, you're gonna do heavy release, but cancel the first hit into fireball, and then cancel the fireball into medium, and then you do forward heavy punch, end with heavy fua, and then you do super, and then boom, that's your cash out combo. So it is definitely a lot, especially for typically this version or this part, and it'll take some time to get used to it. But basically, think of it as you do core circle forward once, and you do heavy kick, and then you press light kick, medium kick. That's all you gotta do. You do not need to do core circle forward again, and to do all that, you just be like, you see my inputs. I'm literally doing one core circle forward, then light, medium, then I go from there. So that's kind of like how you do the combos. I know that people are very curious on some stuff like, oh my god, you're so optim with it. It's like, yeah, I just practice this, make sure I got the understanding of it. And like I said before, this is just with Jamie's EX DP. You definitely want to make sure, depending on where they land and how they land, or if they're on the ground or not, what best combo to do, because there are different variants of combos you can do, and I've shown them a few of them, but there's so many more probably. And you know, eventually you'll just understand, like, all right, you know, if I have no meter, obviously I could do something like this. Maybe this is like a cash out combo you can do, or you know, maybe you just have a sliver of a of 3.5 bars. Maybe you could try and do like sneak in something like this and just barely not being burned out or something like that. Honestly, it's up to you. There's a lot of different variants, but I'll say definitely the one I showed off was a max damage. I recommend practicing that, especially on Jamie's DP. That way you get familiar with that version, and then you can kind of go for almost any heavy starter, especially like crouch heavy punch or forward heavy punch. You can do starters of those, and you can kind of get your max damage that way. So feel free to try those out. Hopefully I didn't make that too confusing on how to punish, you know, EX DPs and everything like that. And hopefully you guys enjoy these. I'm pretty sure that overall most people enjoy these little tech videos. You know, I may show off a little bit more so of how to go about fireballs or DPs or something like that. So if you guys want to see something, let me know. But yeah, if you're beginning Juri, I recommend these videos. And just like that, hope you all have a wonderful day, and make sure to like this video and subscribe. That's everyone.